The thing is another thing I learned from the contender is that I'm only fighting one of you at a time,
That's right.
right? And when we're fighting, right? So I only need that when we're fighting. Why do I need it anywhere else? Why do I need to hold on to anything that doesn't matter right now, right? So with that being said, I'm conserving
I was
all of
about to
that
say that you're conserving your energy till fight day. Okay, I
for
respect that.
all of
I see
that,
that now.
right? So all the energy needs is for that night,
That's
right?
right.
I don't need to be there and me mugging everybody on the show, like on the contender. Why? For what? I'm wasting my time because I'm only fighting one of you guys at a
That's
time,
right.
right? I'm fighting Danny Jacobs July
There you
6th.
go.
Why do I gotta? Why do I gotta spend my time? Yeah, I'm gonna. For what, bro? For
There you
what?
go.
Talk about Mexican Independence Day. We can call this Teddy Atlas here in Las Vegas, Nevada. You heard from the champion himself, knocking out the competition.
Good evening, everyone. I'm your host, Richard Ortiz of The Fighter's Voice, the only voice that matters. And unlike our guest today, Shane Mosley Jr. got a big fight coming up July 6th, pay-per-view, taking on Daniel Jacobs. Now, this is going to be a defining moment, a defining fight that lets the whole boxing world know exactly where Shane Mosley Jr. is in his boxing career. Make sure you tune in. It's going to be on the undercard of Nate Diaz and George Masvidal. You know what? I'm excited. I'm excited for the main event. I'm excited to see you back into the ring, Shane. And most of all, I'm excited that you're back on the Fighter's Voice podcast, my man. And thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. I appreciate you highlighting my fight and highlighting what I got going on. I really appreciate that.
I'm looking forward to it. I really am. I mean, this guy brings experience. He's been there with Triple G, Canelo, Julio Cesar Chavez. The list goes on. You got the call. You didn't even back up for a moment. You said, this is exactly what I want. And I remember the last time you were on the show, you said, Richard, I'm ready to make a defining moment in my career, my own journey, my own path, and take things the way you want to take it. A victory in July 6th is going to do just that for you. It's going to put you right in the mix of boxing.
Right. Absolutely. Um, these are the types of calls that fighters dream of. You know what I mean? Like you could fight a legend and somebody that's has a lot of experience and you can prove yourself and um, prove to yourself like what you've been doing all these years. Like and what it all means to you. So I'm I'm blessed, man. When I got the call, man, I immediately said yeah. And funny enough, my cut man, Sister Ann, I called him because obviously I knew he was already on the card. He works with Nate, and I called him. I said, "Hey, man, by any chance you got a July 6th open or available?" He's like, "Oh, well, where are you fighting?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm fighting in Anaheim." He goes, "Oh, yeah, we're fighting in Anaheim." I go, "Yeah, I know. I'm the co-main event." And he goes, "Oh man, aren't we blessed?" And I was like, it just reignited like that understanding of like, man, like how is it that like out of all cards, like me and him, get on the same card and just such a blessing that came out of nowhere. I really appreciate that, and it was just really really like comforting to hear like, yeah, we're blessed.
Absolutely,
You know what I
bro.
mean?
I mean, the last time we spoke, you were waiting patiently and on the horizon, and you knew something was special was coming up. And I think we talked about that. We touched on it a little bit, and now your opportunity is coming. The whole world's going to be tuned in, pay per view, and you get to set the tone for the main event. I mean, not to put any pressure
Oh yeah.
because I know you exceed pressure. You don't let it bother. You don't let it stop you. But I mean, just knowing that, what has it done for you mentally?
I try not to let all those things bother me. You know what I mean? Like really, what I need to focus on is being the best Shane Mosley Jr. I could be that night. And so if it exceeds expectation and does what I think it'll do, then fine. But like I don't try to put any more pressure than I need. You know what I mean? I need to be at my best, and that takes focus, and that takes what is the plan? Right? The plan is to be my best, to be Daniel Jacobs, and to the best performance I possibly can have.
I had Robert Garcia on the show earlier, and I asked him. That was one of the last questions I asked before I let him go. And he said, I wish him well. He's from California. I've trained with his dad. He's trained at the gym, etc. He said, I just want him to be in great condition to finish the fight strong, to let all the judges know that you finished strong.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's. I mean, shoot. I've been 10 years in the game. I mean, it's funny because, like he's the veteran and obviously, but I got veteran status too.
That's right.
I mean, I got 10 years. I got 10 years here as well. Of course, nowhere near the experience and the level that he's been at, but I'm a veteran myself, and I feel like I deserve to be there, and I'm gonna show that.
Well, absolutely you do. I mean, okay, he has that experience because he's had opportunity. This is your opportunity to get that experience. All his experience, you get to take it from him July 6th. And then once you have that, get that victory, then you apply it for the rest of your career, bro. That's just the way it works. And you're ready for that opportunity. We've talked about it. The Bible says, call things as if they're not as if they are. And this is your time to shine, my man. And I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I think I'm more excited than you are.
I'm very excited. This is one of those things, but you can't let that excitement, you can't let those things exceed you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It can't get bigger than you, because if you let it get bigger than you, if you let the moment be bigger than you are, then you'll let that moment pass you. And so I'm just living in it, and I'm just enjoying every moment, good, bad, and indifferent. And I'm gonna enjoy every bit of it. And truthfully, no matter what happens, right? Like God put me here for a reason, whatever that may be, whether it be victory, whether it be defeat, whether it be, whatever, right? I'm here for the experience. And I think when you kind of let all that go, you let that pressure go, because I'm just going to give it all I have and see what the chips may lay, because the truth is nobody knows, only God.
That's right. I got to ask you this, man. How has those press conference been? I mean, were you there during the whole kind of the scuffle? Are you feeling that it's hype, or is it real with Diaz and Masvidal?
Listen, that's real beef. That's real beef right there. And I told my manager, I told everybody involved, hey, I need to make sure my wife has security.
Yeah.
And I need to make sure that everything is good, because they're grown men. They're gonna do whatever they're gonna do. But I just need to make sure she's good. My wife is pregnant with my son, so I need to make sure that she's good. I appreciate that. Thank you.
And happy late Father's Day, my man. I mean, I text you. Yeah. Happy late Father's Day.
Oh, thank you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I didn't respond back. And I'm gonna assume happy Father's Day to you as well.
That's right. Thank you.
All right. Yeah. It's funny. One of my buddies, I wish him a happy Father's Day as well. I forgot that he didn't have any kids, and he's like, "Hey, not yet." I was like, "Oh,
what are you trying to say, man? What do you know that I don't know?"
Yeah, right.
Am I gonna get a knock on my door right now, or what's going on here?
Right. He's like, "Hey, chill out." I was like, "Oh, my bad." But yeah. So I clear that up. But thank you. I appreciate that. And my wife is pregnant with our fourth kid, and super excited about that, and just want to make sure she's good. Yeah. Unfortunately, at the press conference, the whole thing went crazy, whatever like that. They got to a brawl, and I was legit, like literally, like there was somebody that got cut open, and like people were like really got hurt, fortunately my wife, so when it first broke out, like you kind of see a little bit of the scuffles and the stuff like that, like people starting to get kind of crazy. I stand up, and it's so funny because Anthony Pettis, I literally, like as I like it starts breaking out, I stand up, I look over to my left because he's over at the end. He's gone. He left. And I asked him later, I'm like, "Hey man, like why'd you leave? So like you left like before like it like started, like you left, like you were gone. Like he was like a ghost. He was like, bro, I fought this guy before. He's like, I know how his people get down. He was like, they want to sneak you. So he's like, I got off stage immediately. Once I started, like, he's like, I got it off. But like, sure enough, so I stand up, I look over, he's gone. I see everybody kind of scrambling. I look over, I can't find my wife. She's in the stands. I mean, she's in the seats. I can't find her. I'm like I'm literally asking random people, hey, you see my wife? You see my wife? They're like, who's your wife? You know, I'm like, my wife, the lady I was with, the pregnant lady. Finally, like, a couple seconds later, I see her, and immediately I'm like, get inside now, like, go inside right now. Literally, as I say that, like, I want to say like 5 seconds. Obviously, everything's going super duper fast, like, stuff is going crazy, right? 5 seconds later, literally, she goes inside, the crowd just goes, like, literally,
Wow.
as like she's walking away, the chairs, people tumbling. You see when they fell over the chairs and homeboy got
Yeah.
cut and all that, like, literally that happened at, like, as I said,
Wow.
babe, go over there. This like, and like, and so funny enough, like, like she goes inside because obviously she's heading back, so her back is towards me. She just sees me because I was still on stage. And then when she gets inside, she looks back and she doesn't see me, right? Like, cause like so like when she got inside, I was already kind of getting off the stage and going like behind everybody to kind of get away. She said she looked outside and didn't see me or didn't see anybody on stage, and she said she got scared. And then it's funny because like as like I was going back into like where the like restaurant was, where the event was, somebody stopped me and was like, hey, can I take a picture with you? So I'm literally taking a picture with like somebody like in the middle of like all this like brawl. Like literally somebody's like, hey, can I take a picture with you? I'm like, all right. Okay, I guess. I'm a little bit away from it. So I didn't get a chance to see her like immediately. So when she saw me, she's like, where were you? Like, yeah, like, like getting on me. I'm like, yeah, I'm good, babe. Like, I stayed away. She's like, I thought you got hurt. So it was crazy. But like I said, I told my manager, I told everybody like involved, like, hey, like, I need to make sure my people got, security and make sure these, knuckleheads don't start nothing, because the truth of the matter is
Yeah.
they wouldn't have cared if they trampled her. They wouldn't have cared.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just pray. What if I lost my baby? What if I lost my son? You know what I mean? Like, for what? You know what I mean? What if one of the athletes got hurt? Then they can't fight. Then they can't make money. Like for what? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I get like having, that much machismo, like having a little bit of like pride and like, like talking mass, pushing a little bit, something like that, whatever, right? Like, what I mean? Obviously I've been into a lot of fights. Guys get crazy, start pushing just to, like maybe intimidate somebody, something like that. But like when you guys start throwing blows, when people start getting cut and hurt and people start really, paying the price for your foolishness, like that aren't even involved. You know what I mean? Like literally I seen a lady get trampled, a coach got cut. You know what I mean? One of the other coaches got, punched. Capatillo got punched. Like, come on. I mean, Capatillo got punched. Like, come on, man. Like, for what? I mean, what if we don't have this fight?
Nate,
And then
he has a different type of following.
I would say that I agree. They are a different breed when it comes to that. Like, they with it. They don't care. They with all the drama. They with it. They have there's no like, oh yeah, maybe we shouldn't do this. Maybe somebody can get hurt and like the fight will be over. Like nothing. Like everybody else is like, yeah, push. Okay, we still got the fight going on. We still trying to save the money. You know what I mean? Like they're like, yeah, whatever. Who cares? So, obviously it's a different beast. I, haven't really dealt with many press conferences for like MMA fights and stuff like that. So like to see this was very eye opening, and then also to see like Anthony Pettis, like saying, who was also a UFC was a UFC champion and Hall of Famer, to say like, yeah, man, I know how these people get down. Like they sneak you, they they want to stuff like that. So he knows, right? And so like it's like well known, like hey, like they fight. You know what I mean?
That's
So
Stockton, California, man. They got a different type of following, a different type of breed. I know people there, and when it comes to it, I mean, it's just I've always said this: Nate Diaz or Nick Diaz would be ready walking down the aisle in a tuxedo, getting ready to get married. If somebody popped off,
oh yeah,
they would throw it down right then and there in their tuxedo. They won't even make it to the altar
yeah.
because they're all about that life. And you got the followers and their supporters are the same way. And unfortunately, there's a lot of people that aren't that way because it is an event. It is a professional an event. It is sanctioned. So you got to know when, where, why, and how. And, the main thing is why.
Truthfully, I mean, like a lot of people's families are depending on this and this opportunity and this money and all these things for what?
Yeah.
For a little scuffle. You know what I mean? For a little fist fight that like literally we all about to fight. We obviously not afraid of a fight. Nobody here is afraid of a fight. You know what I mean? Or we wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
So it's like we don't get to that, but like let's get to it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like how about how about we get to it? Yeah. My son want to make a cameo. Close the door, babe.
Oh, it's okay. He can say hello. Made his presence known. But
Yeah.
I mean, let me say this, okay? Honestly, the security that has been chosen to cover that event, they got to be going for Nate Diaz. They have to be pulling for him because of Masvidal. Think about it. Masvidal wins. He's making his entrance back. Can you imagine some unhappy Nate Diaz followers, supporters, etc. as Masvidal walks his way back? It's gonna be a little different. So expect the unexpected, and you already know. You were there. You experienced it hands on. But I started thinking about that just now. Not just throwing cups, but them trying to get a piece of him if he is victorious. I mean, Nate Diaz wins, it's going to go crazy. Either way, they have to beef up their security. Not only during the fight, after the fight, the streets, the area itself.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny that like we're having this conversation, but I do agree with you. I agree wholeheartedly. Like, if Nate loses, I think that could be probably one of the worst things. Even my wife is saying like, hey, like, are you sure you want to stay for the main event? Like, you want to maybe like go to the hotel after your fight? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like we can support him like on TV. Let's order it and like let's be safe. You know what I mean? And which I completely understand. You know what I mean? Obviously, I want to watch the fight. It's a fight that I would buy in general. And when they did fight for the first time, I bought it. You know what I mean? So, like it's definitely a fight that I would want to see, but like.
Yeah.
Do I want to be a part of all of that?
Is it worth the repercussions? I know exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly, and like I said, I have my son, coming. I mean, what if worst case scenario? You know what I mean? Like it might not even be on purpose. Just a tumble, my wife falls, and what?
Yeah, not
you know what I mean? Like. Yeah, and even that thought, is like triggering. It's like if I lose my son over you fucking idiots, excuse me.
No,
you know what I mean?
And I hear you. And at the same time, you being head of the household, you got to remain focused and calm, collective. You have a job to do because someone's trying to take your head off too, Shane. So you got to make sure you flip the script, stay focused, and know when. And read the crowd. If someone starts getting hit in the face and you read the crowd and they're acting a little different, it's like, okay, maybe time to get up. Just like Anthony Pettis did. He knew. He already knew. He goes, I'm out.
He was out before I even looked over. Like literally, the kid started to break out. I looked over. No, he was ghost. I was like, man, that guy is smart. Yeah. Yeah, but so I gotta take a tip from Anthony Pettis.
No, there you go, man. I'm looking forward to it, man. What weight is it going to be at?
168 pounds. So I moved up for this.
Okay, for that opportunity. Sometimes you got to do things like that. Get out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, 100%.
What you need to do.
100%. Like I said, fights. fights like this don't happen often.
No,
You know what I mean? Like they don't come
no,
about like one.
no,
Yeah, these are opportunities that you just can't pass up. You
no.
know, and so with that being said, when they said it, 168, I'm like,
I'm
whatever,
just saying,
fine,
okay. I'm
yes,
just thinking because he's coming all the way down from light heavy, and he's been walking around a little heavy. I know you sized him up at the press conference. If he comes in at 170, say, nah, he has 2 hours, man. Dry him out. Make sure he makes that weight. You know what I mean? I'm just letting you know.
yeah,
I'm
man,
telling you something you
yeah,
already know.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you know, there has been situations where, like, I mean, like, even when he fought Canelo, he just was like, "All right, I'll pay you. I'm not losing the weight. I'll pay
Yeah. Yeah.
you." You know, I mean, hey, if that's the way that it is, then that's the way that it is. But at the end of the day, like, I gotta assume that the best Danny Jacobs is coming there.
Yeah.
He's gonna come on weight. He's gonna be at his best, and I gotta fight that guy.
Well, I
Right? I don't want to assume that he's taking this lightly.
oh
I
no,
don't
I
want to
don't think he's
assume that
taking it
he's
lightly. But
yeah,
a lot of people don't like feeling uncomfortable. You make sure you dry him out because he needs to make
exactly.
your weight, and you need to take care of business. And I'm looking forward to that, man. I'm excited about this opportunity. I see you doing really great. I see you doing wonderful. What has your dad said about this opportunity for you?
Oh man, like he loves it. He loves the opportunity. And he said, it came right on time. This came.
Yeah, God's timing is always on time.
Yeah, man. So I think he was excited for me. He had no interjections
Yeah.
to the idea or thought, and
You know what?
I mean, we're excited.
I was watching. I think he made a mistake and didn't correct it. I love Oscar De La Hoya. I love your dad. Oscar De La Hoya is going on and he says, and when I defeated this guy and defeated this guy, you know where I'm going. And when I defeated Mosley and this and this and this, and I'm thinking, okay, the second fight was very close, but Mosley was awarded the decision. And then your dad says, when did Oscar beat me, man? He goes, did he forget or what's going on? If he wants to run it back again, I like the way your dad did that. And I was listening to him because I caught that. And I was thinking, oh, okay, Mosley's watching. Because then he came on and said, man, when did Oscar beat me? I mean, hearing that, I mean, what's your whole take on this? Do you still get involved in it? Do you sit back and laugh? Or do you say, Pop's got this?
It's funny because my contract with Golden Boy is coming up fairly soon, and like this happens, and I'm like,
Stuck in a rock and a
like,
hard
okay,
place. No comment.
all right, yeah, and I'm like, all right, for sure. Um,
Hey,
all right, I got the right to remain
yeah,
silent.
yeah, you do. You got to think business. Business pays the bills. Business takes care of the family. Business gives you the opportunities that come your way.
But again, right? Like I think, um, what happens a lot of times. I feel like when you don't accept things for what they are, yeah, you may feel whatever you may feel. And truthfully, if I'm gonna be
Uh-huh.
100% honest, if I was gonna give a fight to Oscar, right, I could see it. You know what I mean? I could see it. You watch that fight back, you go, yeah, I could see it, right? But it don't matter what I say.
Yep.
It don't matter what nobody else says, right? It don't even matter what you say, Oscar. It don't. What matters is the fact that on paper, the people that do
What do the
matter
judges say?
said you lost.
Exactly.
They said
Yeah.
you lost. So we can have this dispute all the time, right? Like, all, no, forever, right? But that ain't gonna change the fact that you lost,
Yeah.
right? And it's the same sentiment I have with like Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. This thing, right? That's happening where he wants to get the footage removed. He wants
Yeah.
to, get it taken off his record. All these things, like, from a guy that's lost, from a guy, I mean, obviously, I don't believe that anybody ever, cheated or anything like that. right? But at the same time, yes, he did take steroids, right? I mean, that's what he got convicted for, or not convicted, but like tried for, whatever. I don't know what's the right words, but that was he. It was in the system, right? They took off they made it a no contest, right? Yes, I agree with that. But what I don't agree with is you also have to take responsibility for what you did not do.
Yeah.
That's Devin Haney. And I mean, look, and I'm not trying to put nobody on blast or whatever the case is, but
No, I want to hear it.
when my dad fought Fernando Vargas, right?
Yeah.
Fernando got popped for steroids. When Fernando Vargas fought Oscar, he got popped for steroids. So does that mean that the steroids worked? I mean, you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't seem to be working, right? And truthfully, if you really look at that fight, you could see after Ryan has those bursts of energy, you could clearly see he's taking a break off. Like, he's like, maybe knocks him down, right? And then, like, for the next, like, round and a half, he ain't really doing much. He's doing what we call, he's taking the round off. Right? And you can clearly see that. Anybody that watches boxing can see that. So it had nothing to do, I feel like, with the steroids. It had everything to do with the game plan or lack of a game plan, because you thought he was sleeping. You thought that he wasn't taking this seriously. You thought that he wasn't doing his best. And maybe he felt like he needed to cheat, right? But you maybe should have assumed, like, what if this dude come in with some steroids? What if he come in and all he has is the left hook? Why are we taking this away? Because what shot was he dropping with all the time? The left hook. And that's what you said he only had. And you said that. So I say that to say, if you brush that under the rug and say, oh, it never happened because he cheated and all these things, what if somebody that doesn't take steroids, that has a great left hook, comes and fights you again? And you don't learn from it, right? Maybe we should learn from that. Yes, I agree that he cheated. I agree that it was wrong. I agree that he shouldn't have done it. But what I also think is that you should take responsibility of the things that you didn't do in that fight, which was protect yourself from that right hand. Also, left hand. And also, why are you fighting aggressive with this guy? Most of the guys that you've ever fought and beat and played with, you know what I mean? The kid is great.
Yeah,
like,
great boxing
I think Devin Haney, even right now, if he stopped boxing right now today, he could go down as a great fighter. Lomachenko,
Regis Prograis,
Jorge Linares, Regis Prograis. The list goes on. The list goes on and on and on of the guys that he's beaten, right? He's a great fighter. So it's not like that you're not a great fighter. And the way that you showed the world that you're great was by boxing, by moving, by taking away things from these other fighters, not trying to walk them down and try to fight them or embarrass them because you thought that they were sleeping, right? And maybe you can take accountability for that, right? So I think that's the only way that you learn, is that you accept the fact that, yes, I'm thankful that they took away this wrongdoing, but I also have to take responsibility for the mistakes that I made, because it was my fault that this happened. And as a man, if you don't do that, if you don't own the things that you were wrong for, it's going to continue forward. And I say that with respect, and I say that as a man trying to help another man, right? It's like, I want you to do better, and I know that you can, because you've proved that before. So own that, own what you didn't do, and that's how you become better. And same with Ryan. Own that, because you could easily go like, oh, well, he even said it a few times. Man, I trained like 4 weeks for this, right? I trained like 4 weeks, 5 weeks for this, like that. And then you get a victory like that. you get a performance like that. Then you go, okay, I can do this all the time. No, you can't. At a certain point, that youth is going to go away from you. That superstardom is going to go away from you. That those things that you think that you know have are going to go away. You need to take responsibility for these things. It's the only way you can grow. You got to accept the areas that you've fallen short and have failed at in order to become better. If you don't accept it, you can't grow.
Shane, I don't think Ryan has even let off the pedal yet. Going into that press conference, a lot of people, the antics he was doing, his performance, and now the fight is over and he's still living life like it's his last day.
Well, hopefully, you know, he can see that. Hopefully, he can see that what he's doing is.
I think he needs to slow down a little bit.
Yeah, and unfortunately, he gets certain validation from maybe some of his peers and the people around him, and maybe the people that follow him and love all the antics and things like that. But if you truly are going through a mental crisis, or if you're truly going and hurting, maybe you should look inward and not lash out, right? And then obviously, from what he's said, right, his mom has cancer. She's going through a bad spot, right? You lashing out the way that you've shown the world, and then a tragedy like this happens. Usually, people lash out even more. That's why I said he needs to recognize where his faults are, because if you don't get this under control, something bad might happen to you. And yeah, it worked for you this time, but what if it doesn't work for you the next time? What if something serious happens to you the next time? Serious where you can't come back. Serious where he's not fought because of mental health issues, right? Yeah. So if you continuously have people around you that's just gonna, oh yeah, Ryan, you're great. Oh, you're not doing nothing wrong. You be you, right? Like, no, hey, you're messing up. Hey, this is not the path you want to go down. You maybe not want to drink. You maybe not want to do drugs. Maybe, hey, let's go on a different path. Maybe you shouldn't, gamble. Maybe, like, what if this money runs out one day? Hey, maybe, you know what I mean? Like, and these are all things that happen. I mean, like, the list goes on of fighters that have struggled from, a lot of addictions, whether it be women, whether it be money, drugs, casinos, whatever the case is, and where are they at now, right? Or cocaine, all of it. It's all, I mean, it's happened before. So you have to recognize these things, and hopefully you have the right people around you that are going to point you in the right direction, and that are not afraid to make you angry and be like, hey, you're messing up. Chill out. You know what I mean?
Jose Suleiman recently made a statement and says, hey, I'm not going to hit him while he's down. I'm here to show support, because I'm going to mention some names, and I just hate for him later on. I want him to have a great ending. When we lost Arturo Gatti, we lost Mi Viva Loca, the fighter. Gosh, legend, man. He looked like Joe Pesci a little bit, but he fought. Johnny. Oh gosh, come on. Oh, Johnny, what's his name? Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I'm gonna remember right now. Alexis Arguello. I mean, those all didn't end well. They went through personal things, and so they say they ended up taking their lives, or they didn't get the help that they needed, or they were crying out and nobody listened. So social media works both ways, which means the whole world gets to see you blow up. The whole world needs to recognize, also gets a chance to recognize that you do need help. And I just hope that he gets the right people around him. I mean, because one day that money is going to run out, and it doesn't matter how much money that you have. If you're not sane, or if you're not happy, you're going through a lot, man, hey, you need a helping hand. And I know he's going through all this stuff. Some of the stuff may be self-inflicted. And, as you said, sometimes we just got to man up, or iron sharpens iron. Bring another person in your life that's going to help you and that doesn't want what you have, that is not to take from you, but to offer your support.
I agree with that. I agree that, you know, he needs some good influences and things like that. And, because maybe it's good for now. And, I hope that it continues to be good. I hope you continue to go on this, like, I want nothing but the best for him. You know what I mean? Like, truthfully, I've known him. I've known him since he was a young kid. I mean, he's literally, been to my grandparents' house. He's been to my house. You know what I mean? Like, we used to have shows where his family would come down. I mean, all that. Like, I love him. I want nothing but the best for him. So when you see these things, it's like, hey, like I wish nothing but good for you, and I want you to get around good people, because I see that you may be going down a path that could be destructive, right? And sometimes those destructive paths can be great for people to watch. I mean, one of the greatest destructive paths were Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Right? And everybody loved him for you didn't know what you're gonna get. You're gonna get you know what I mean? Him cussing somebody out at the press conference, and but he had to also go through a lot, like losing all of his money and going through a whole lot of hardship, and it's like, if you can kind of save yourself from that, hopefully you will.
Yeah, and he does need it. And the name that I was looking for was Johnny Tapia. Had the Mivio Loca on his chest. Yeah, great fighter.
Yeah.
And if you look at him, he looked a little bit like Joe Pesci. Kind of resembled him a little bit. The guy came to fight, and he also was going through some things, and there's a lot of pressure on you fighters. There is. I mean, boxing has a small window, so you got to be ready for those opportunities, make those opportunities, create those opportunities, and what's most important, Shane, as you did, accept those opportunities.
Yeah, accept them and accept everything for what it is. I mean, like, and see how you can make the best out of those situations. Right? You got to accept the opportunities, accept the things that you didn't do so well, and then try to make the best out of those things.
I wanted to ask you a question. I was going to ask you last time too, because a lot of people, this fighters from our area, and they wanted to ask. And they were asking me, "Hey, Richard, how come what's the name didn't fight on this card? What's it?" I go, "Well, I think he was scheduled to fight Shane Mosley, and he declined." After they had the fight series, Daniel Valdivia. When you're in the house, weren't you supposed to fight him on that last card? No, right before, or no, you beat Daniel Valdivia, right?
Yeah, I didn't fight Marcos.
Yes, they were asking about that. Marcos Hernandez.
Marcos Hernandez, yeah.
Yeah.
I was supposed to fight Marcos. And I was going to fight. So, Daniel and Marcos fought. And, in my opinion, I thought Daniel won.
I want to ask you right now. Right? I'm going to ask you right now, because they showed highlights. So you can see the fight. In your opinion, watching it went 4 rounds, correct? Rounds 1 through 4? 5. Who do you think won that fight?
I thought Daniel Valdivia won the fight. And that's why I said, and that's why I made the decision to fight Daniel Valdivia when it came out that, so it was just a whole slew of things. But basically what happened is they call the fight, like when the fight happened, they go to the scorecards, they call the fight. Literally, everybody from our team was super duper excited. Danny won because he was on our team. We go back to the back. Like, I want to say like 5 to 10 minutes later, they're like, "Hey, y'all got to go back." Literally, the arena emptied and everything. Like, because there's people in there. The arena left. Everybody from the arena left. Like, we're in the back about to go back to our like where our house was or whatever like that. And they're like, "Hey, you got to come back." And we're like, "What?" And they're like, "Yeah, we messed up." And what you mean you messed up? That we messed up on the call. And Danny already knew. He's like, "I knew they were going to take it from me." So, anyways, we go back. Sure enough, with nobody in the arena, they literally go and they recalled the whole thing. Nobody's in the arena, just us fighters and the judges, I guess. And we're like, oh, that's trash, bro. Like that's like for one, like I felt like 100% that he lost the fight, but whatever. The judge, like I said, the judges said whatever. Um, Now in the fight, Marcos gets cut
Yeah.
over his eye. He was pretty decently, damaged from the fight, in my opinion. But hey, he won the fight. You know what I mean? Nevertheless, they give him the thing. He goes back. He has cuts over. He has to get stitches. He has to, like I think he even said like in the thing, he wasn't like feeling good. He was like throwing up, like or he was gonna throw up or had to throw up or something like that. So like I said, he got beat up pretty bad. All in all, it came out that we were gonna have to fight because of how the structure is. We
Yeah.
were gonna have to fight within like 3 to 5 days, right? Me and him, because we were in the same bracket. So me and him were gonna have to fight in the next couple days. So that being said, I mean, I was ready to fight, and he ultimately couldn't fight because we had to fight 3 days. It wasn't like we had like a long time because even though they film it, it's like super duper quick, right? It's 5 rounds, but still, like you still got to be ready to fight, and he wasn't ready to fight. So, with that being said, there was a few other people that we could have brought back, and when I tell you, nobody in the house wanted to bring back Danny. Nobody wanted to bring back Danny, and I said, "Listen, I'm bringing back Danny." Because and they gave me the ultimate because we essentially all had to vote on
Yeah.
it, but my team gave me the last kind of say because I was the one that was going to fight him or whoever it was that came in. Now they could have pressed it and the other team could have said no, we're bringing back so and so, but thankfully they gave me the opportunity to ultimately make the decision. And I said Danny, and for the reason was because I said Danny won the fight. Anybody watching that saw that Danny won that fight. Why wouldn't I fight the man that won? Why wouldn't I fight him? So we brought him back, and the reason why they didn't want me to bring Danny back is because they thought Danny was going to beat me. They thought Danny Valdivia was gonna wash me. And I talked to some guy. Oh, now he's gonna beat you up. And we got to deal with him. So when he beats you up, we got to deal with him, and we don't want to deal with him.
You were on that
That's
night.
what they
You
thought.
neutralized him, and I'm a friend of Danny's. I was a fan of Danny's. When he was participating, and you neutralized him. You really did. That day you would have beat anybody.
Thank you.
No, I saw your folks, saw your concentration, and yeah, you proved a point in there. You proved a point that I'm my own person. I'm my own. I respect my name, but I'm going to go straight Shane Mosley Jr. I'm not going with the same nickname. You wanted your own path, and that fight I thought displayed it. Even I remember Andre Ward was very proud of the things that you accomplished in there, and he knows talent. But I'm glad you told that story.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask that story because Daniel lives in Tulare, which is 1 hour away from me. Marcos Hernandez lives in Fresno, which is about 25 minutes away from me. I live in Madera, California, but I tell people Fresno because once you tell people Madera, they go, "What is that? A soda or something? Or what is that?" So I'll say Fresno, and yeah, that way they recognize that. But I was going to ask you this too. What did you learn inside of that house? What did you learn being inside there? What's the worst? I mean, what's the most thing that you grasped on that you still kind of accepting and using today?
Focus. There's a lot of personality in there. There's a lot of people that want you to think and do a certain thing or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Focus. That's the biggest thing. Have a goal. Have something that you write in. Have a mission. Focus.
Stay on weight. I remember that too.
Yeah, but that all comes with
Yeah.
focus. That all comes with focus and understanding what you truly have. You know what I mean? Like what you got going on, what the purpose is, like what you're doing, right? You won't ever have an issue with weight if you're always on purpose. If you're always doing and living what you're supposed to be doing, right? And I think that that is the biggest thing because unfortunately, a lot of these guys would win, and you would see just a little bit of fold and what it was that they were doing, their belief in themselves, what they thought, or just would eat a little bit more, or
Yeah.
different things. It's like,
It's a
yeah,
card
I
game.
won,
Everybody's at the
but then
table with their cards. And whose cards are you reading?
yeah, but yeah, I won that fight, but it's not over. I won that fight, but it's not over. You know what I mean? And just realizing that, man, like I think that's one of the best best things that I learned in fighting is always be on purpose, be on goal. And
Yeah.
I mean, I have people asking me all the time, man, like, dang, like you're getting better. You know what I mean? Like you're getting
Yep.
better as you're getting older. You know what I mean? It's because I'm on purpose. I have a goal for myself. I have beliefs for myself. I have things that I'm doing that I want to accomplish, and yeah, and when you stay on and you stay believing, it all comes.
You got to have focus to go the route that you're going. A lot of people would have catered, I'm going to go the direction and make the most of this umbrella that my father has given me. You've of course took his advice because who's not going to take world championship advice? But you always wanted your own, and I respected that. I remember I called
Mhm.
you by accident using the nickname. And he said, "Oh no," and I was like, and I remembered. I said, "Yeah, that's right, exactly." Even our producers would give me a hard time saying, "Man, you said that," and he said that, and I was like, "Yeah, I know." So I fixed it, corrected it. But not only just saying it, you're out there doing it. You're your own person.
Yeah,
Same last name, respectful to that. Yeah, I'm sure you guys had a great Father's Day, Grandpa's Day, etc. But you always so that I met you and started watching you going your own career, going your own direction.
yeah. I mean, like, I wanna be respected for the work that I've done and am doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And whatever that may be, right? Wherever it lands. I'm not, I didn't, I truly didn't get into this for my dad or for try to make an easy life for myself. If I want an easy life for myself, I wouldn't have chosen this. But like I definitely love what I do. And, since I love it, I want to be a part of some of its greatness, some of the great moments of boxing, right? That's why you get into
Yep.
this, right? Otherwise, you could be severely hurt and, damaged. So you might as well try to be if you're going to get into this, you might as well try to make, a legacy for yourself. And I don't want that to be for my dad. That's for me.
Yeah. No, I hear you, man, completely, 100%. I mean, mine's a whole different situation. I wanted to be opposite of him, a complete opposite of him. And I'll tell you why. I'll just drop it like this. When I was 3 weeks old, he bounced. So I made sure I was opposite of him completely. What's going to happen July 6th when that bell rings, Shane?
I'm gonna give it my all and show the world who I am. That's all I can do. All right, give it my all, show the world who I am. Shane Mosley Jr., wherever that may lay, let it go. It's not for me to hold on to,
Yeah.
right? It's not for me to say, well, this is what it's going to be. All right, I'm going to do all, like, I'm going to give my best. I'm gonna try to be
That's
legendary,
right.
right? I'm gonna try. I'm trying to be legendary. I'm gonna try to give my best performance. I'm gonna try to show everybody who
I'm
I
going to try
am,
to go to that
and
fight, Shane. I'm going to put in for that
hopefully
fight. I'm going to try to
hopefully
go to that
that
fight, honestly.
that hopefully that's something meaningful to the sport.
Oh, absolutely. I see it. I mean, I see you putting on a great performance. I see you doing your best. And
Thank you.
Going through some struggles because you got to take that risk, but you coming out on top because your determination is going to be the different factor. That's why I envision the fight. I'm not saying it because you're on the show. If Daniel Jacobs was right here, I would tell him, you know what, man, this guy is you better be ready because he's been hungry, he's been anticipating, and that's what I see. It's going to be a great fight. I think it's going to be fight of the night. I don't think the Masvidal fight is going to be all that. I think it's going to end quickly. And don't ask me who's going to win because in case I go to that fight, that's the guy that no, you know what I mean, right?
You don't want to be in the
I don't want to
scuffle
be in the
either,
scuffle, man. My fighting days are over, but I still got a little bit in the in the wallet just in case. But no, man. I want to give a shout out right now to Big Al Gonzalez. Hooked me up with this shirt as King Me Apparel. King Me Apparel. Make sure you order your he has your t-shirts, your hats, your hoodies, your boxing gloves, MMA fighter. Look up Big Al Gonzalez on Instagram, and I'm gonna tell him you were on the show, man, and I'm gonna have him send me a shirt to give to you. I still got to get your Fighter's Voice t-shirt, man. I mean, yeah, I've been lagging on that part.
Yeah.
I wish I had time to put stuff on eBay and stuff and make some money on the side, but I got to do what I got to do. But I will make time for you. I promise you, I am a man of my word. But I just had to give a shout out to Big Al Gonzalez, MMA fighter. Hey, may give you some rounds or something, in case you need a sparring partner. You know what I mean? Yeah. Oh, that'd be good. Iron sharpens iron.
That'd be
man.
awesome.
So, anything you got to say to the fans, the followers, and supporters who's going to be in your corner July 6th?
Thank you for always supporting. Thank you for always hearing me out and allow me to take up some of your time, time in your life. So I appreciate that. Continue to follow me. I hope that you enjoy my work, my body of work, and I'll catch you guys July 6th.
How can we follow you? What's your Instagram? You're on Twitter, Facebook. What's your handle so that they can follow you and leave some messages, man, of support?
Yeah, I got Shane Mosley Jr. and then one Shane Mosley Jr. on X or Twitter.
Yes.
And then Shane Mosley Jr. on Facebook and all that stuff. Most of my stuff is like Shane Mosley Jr. I like to keep it very, very simple and basic. Even like, what's that? TikTok, that too. Shane Mosley Jr. or Shane Mosley _Jr. Because,
There you go. Shane, you're too humble, my man. Get that fire in you. You're gonna need that, and then I walk out to the ring. I want to see those eyes like a freaking lion, like a tiger, getting ready to devour its meal. Especially when that bell rings, man. I know you're being very humble. I know you have Jesus in your life. The Bible says to be humble, but it also says, man, to be confident. And I don't got to tell you that. You're a professional fighter. You walk in that ring all the time. I want to see some fire and desire in you when that bell rings, because I want to be in your corner, man. I'm gonna be rooting for you, whether it's here in Fresno or possibly covering the fight.
Yeah, man. The thing is another thing I learned from the Contender is that I'm only fighting one of you at a time.
That's
right? And when we're fighting, right? So I only need that when we're fighting. Why do I need it anywhere else? Why do I need to hold on to anything that doesn't matter right now? Right? So with that being said, I'm conserving all of that.
I was about to say that. You're conserving your energy till fight day. Okay, I respect that. I see that now.
Right? So all the energy needs is for that night, right? I don't need to be there and me mugging everybody on the show, like on the Contender. Why? For what? I'm wasting my time because I'm only fighting one of you guys at a time.
That's right.
Right? I'm fighting Danny Jacobs July 6th. Why do I gotta spend my time? I'm gonna. For what, bro? For what?
There you go.
It don't make sense. I've been in this game for a very long time. I've been around this game for a very long time. Fights are gonna happen. I'm not afraid of that. I already know when we fighting July 6th. So I need to focus my energy for July 6th. I don't need to be, even Freddie Roach used to always say, man, every time he comes in here, he always get a smile, he's dancing. He's not serious. Hey, look where I am. You know what I mean? Look where I am.
That's right.
With that smile and the dancing. Look where that is. Look where I am. I don't need to disrespect nobody. I don't need to do all the antics. I just need to do my job July 6th. That's
Hey,
it.
you're Shane Mosley Jr.
That's right.
Right.
I have to say that I took a little chip off the old block, right? My dad will give you all the smiles and all the the kind and soft spoken, and then when he got into the ring, he
The
was
monster.
a
A
monster.
monster.
Exactly.
And double,
So you know,
triple times stronger than his weight. Your dad was freaking strong. One of the strongest fighters. He was never manhandled, fast, strong, and just, yeah, pound for pound, man.
very very strong. So yeah, I that that's just my take on it, man. Like so when people say, oh, you too too smiley, too nice, too all this stuff, it's like yeah we.
Hey, don't let the smile. Hey, don't let the smile fool you, brother.
Right, right. You know what I mean? I don't gotta be upset to,
You got to be mad.
to fight
You
you.
ain't got a lot to kick it.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I mean, I can fight you with a smile on my
That's
face.
right. That's what's up. Throw a three-piece. There you are.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to ask you to put
But
the pressure on you right now. Who's winning, Nate
yep,
Diaz or George Masvidal? Masvidal.
George Masvidal. George.
Is it going the distance?
Uh, maybe, maybe. I think if um it doesn't get any cuts or anything like that, that's how
Yeah.
the last fights stopped. I think that it'll probably be very very similar. Nate has a kind of that California style. You know what I mean? That come forward pressure. He doesn't necessarily throw with a lot of punch and power, but he's very consistent. And if you're not in shape and you're not in the right conditioning, he can give you a run for
Yeah,
your money.
Nate's always in
But
condition.
I think you know uh, Jorge is just a little bit more skilled, a little bit quicker, and overall, I think that he's the fresher fighter. So I think that that's going to play a part in all of this, and I think that he comes out victorious. But I love both guys. Like I said, I would watch this fight no matter. With that being said, I mean, because I know the will of Nate,
Yeah.
and he will grind you out. He will he like I mean, shoot, I've been around, you know, Mexican style fighting my entire life. Obviously, I grew up in California. I trained in nothing but California gyms. I know that style, and that style, if you're not prepared for it, will break you. But so you can never count him out. But I do think that Jorge will win.
Hey, you're hearing it from the man himself, who's going to be on the co-main event July 6th. It's going to be one heck of a fight. Make sure.
But hold on
Okay,
before
all right,
you
let me hear.
no don't go away. No. I gave you mine. I showed you mine. Show me
I
yours.
think I have George winning the fight, possibly by knockout.
Yeah.
But Nate Diaz is a survivor. He's a prideful person.
Yeah.
He's going to do whatever it takes to not only survive but try to win. I just was not too impressed with his boxing skills on his first professional fight. I thought he would do a lot better since he put a lot of rounds in with Andre Ward and also Jalisco Madera from Stockton as well.
Mm-hmm.
I just didn't see a clean transition from MMA to boxing, or at least looking the part. I like Nate. I like what he does in the MMA cage. Boxing is a different sport, and I just see George being victorious that night. And I know I'm gonna get a lot of emails and text messages. Everybody's all Diaz around here, and I am too. I'm a supporter too, but I'm gonna call it the way I see it, man.
Yeah. I 100% agree. Like just because you may like the guy or think that he's a good person and all these things, right? It doesn't mean that like that shouldn't necessarily
Don't let it cloud
mess
your
with your
judgment,
logic.
man. I mean, I've been caught up in that before.
Right.
I really have, and now I say
Right.
I'm rooting for this guy. That doesn't necessarily mean he's going to win, but I'm pulling for him. And
Yeah.
I used to feel that way in certain divisions. Some people that I knew, and now I got to call it the way I see it. or how I feel leading up. And yeah, that's what I feel right now. He's more collective, and he's not wasting his energy just like you are, and conserving it and waiting for that bell to ring July 6th. Pay-per-view. It's going down, man. And I'm proud that you took that opportunity. You could have waved and said, "Nah, that's not a fight for." No, you took it. Which way it ever comes, God gave you an opportunity, a blessing. You take it. You never decline it. God's gonna need seven more. He's gonna fill your cup. And as they say, the rest is gonna be history. And I know you're gonna put up a great account of yourself and show the world exactly what Shane Mosley Jr. is all about. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank our guest, Shane Mosley Jr. Make sure you follow him on his Twitter, his Instagram, and also tune in July 6th. It's going to be a co-main event. It's going to be possibly the fight of the night. I think it's going to be one heck of a fight. People are going to get their money's worth and their viewers' worth. And if you have not subscribed to our channel, please subscribe. It's www.youtube.com/thefightersvoice. Remember, every fighter has a voice, and so do you. As always, it's a wrap. Thumbs up for Richie.
Hey, fight fans, it's not goodbye, but until next week. Remember, it's always voiceography at its finest. So on behalf of Richard Ortiz, the special guests, and all the crew, saying hasta luego, babies. And always, thanks for listening.